Hey everyone, my name's Bob. I'm the tiny art guy, and I've been collecting hot toys for about 2.5 years. I wanted to share some of my tips, maybe for people that are looking at getting into hot toys, or have just started, just to give you some of my experience, and maybe so that you can think about these things as well. It might save you a bit of money and time as you go. I've certainly bought and then had to sell the wrong figures. I've bought a number of different display cabinets and lighting systems, all of which have gradually changed. And I kind of think if I've maybe heard more tips at the start, then maybe I might have saved myself a bit of time and effort over these last 2 years. So I'm going to show you my collection, and I'll just talk you around things I've got, things I've bought, my setup, and I'm just going to make it up as I go along, and we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching so far. So this is my hot toy display as at February 2025. I got a couple of other little things in there. So these are hot toys. They are made in Hong Kong, and they, to give you an idea of scale, they're about 12 inches tall, so they're 1/6 scale figures. And I've got, at the moment, I've got some Batman figures up here, Batman Armory, and then some of the first figures I got were from Marvel, which tends to be where a lot of people start these days, and you can pick up these figures at really good prices at the moment. I buy quite a few of mine secondhand on eBay, so you've got quite good buyer protection there, and just always look out for somebody that's got nearly 100% good feedback. I always, being in the UK, I always look for UK sellers, just because I find I get them quicker, and if there's ever any trouble, I can get things sorted out, but there never has been yet. I've got some Mandalorian figures here, and I've got a couple of Stormtroopers. So I haven't got a lot. I've got rid of a lot of figures lately because I'm curating my collection in a different direction. I'm just going to stand back. So these are in modular case display cabinets. The bottom ones are yet to be filled. So these come from overseas. There's a company called Moduspace. There's a branch of theirs, I think, in Europe now, but it's really just a website based in Europe. I don't think they actually manufacture them there. There can be long lead times for these, so people can wait a good year for them, but I ordered mine fairly soon, knowing that I was going to build a collection. These are called 1/6 modular case 1/6, and they're 110, so they're 110 centimeters long. And this one I've removed, so they're a metal frame that, it's one of those things, once you put one together, the rest go together quite easily. So they come with all the fittings. They've got a wooden board that's felt covered at the bottom. That sort of slots in there, and they all connect to each other. So the whole point of these systems is they're modular, so you can fix them together. There's all different shapes and sizes. I've taken one of the front panels off mine. So there's like a magnetic front panel that goes on the front there, just so that I could get in and show you the figures in more detail. So what I would say is really think about what franchises you're a big fan of, because it's very difficult. There's a few people that do it, but it's really difficult to collect them all. So I had tons of Star Wars and then realised it was dominating my cabinets. So I'm reducing my Star Wars, and I'm picking up on Batman now. So they're hot toys, and price wise, you can be looking at, so my bank robber Joker was £180 on eBay, including shipping. There are third-party figures like this one from 6 Feet Lane Studios that are also around that amount, so in the hundreds, about 100 and something pounds. And then for some figures you're looking at between £200 and £300. A lot of the newer figures now are around the sort of high 200s. You do get sets, so this Boba Fett and Throne came as a set, and the Batman Armory, so everything you can see here, so Bruce Wayne, the suit and the armory was a set, and that was just under £600 for that. Be prepared for, if you want to keep boxes like I do, some of them are rather large. So the box that the armory came in, I've just placed in my window for now, just to show you the size, so it's pretty huge. A standard Hot Toy box is about this big. So there's the Catwoman. This is called an art box. When they're new, they come in this like plastic, and then that is placed in this outer box, which is just a cardboard box, which is known as a shipper, and it's literally the box that it gets shipped in. A number of collectors are quite big on getting the shipper when they get a figure, but it's literally just a cardboard box. So I personally don't worry if someone's selling one. What I do like is an art box that's in pretty good condition, but I have bought figures without an art box. Just made sure I've got all the accessories. In terms of display cabinets, then you may have noticed there in this corner I've got an Apex Time display case which powers on. This is quite a nice case to keep your grey in, but again these are 100 and something pounds, but they have a really nice kind of lighting system that you can use. A lot of people use the cabinets from IKEA, so they've got these ones called Blalidens. If you go to a friend of mine, Shane's YouTube channel, 16 Figure Focus, he has his figures behind him in Blalidens, and they are tall cabinets, a bit like this one that I got from Argos, but more the quality, a bit more quality to be honest. Although this one's not too bad for showing my smaller figures. But if you can, I really recommend these module cases. But like I say, there is quite a lead time on them. Another consideration you might have is whether you want dioramas to go with your figures. So especially if you're looking at photographing them, it can be great. You can pick up these dioramas. This is by a friend of mine called Carl. And then you can put your figure in those. So have a think ahead about how you want to display your figures. So what are my top tips? First of all, is don't rush into anything. Don't get into the hype. When new figures receive a lot of hype and then everyone rushes out to get them, it's very rare now that a figure does actually sell out and you can never get it again. There's one or two, but to be honest with you, since I've been starting collecting, I've managed to get every figure that I like, that I wanted. I'd say watch videos on YouTube for posing figures, because a good pose on a figure can make a huge difference. So have a think about that. It is very addictive. So I've now gone from a cabinet with no reflections to one that has. So there's plenty of things you'll get pulled into, like buying accessories like lighting up like USB powered lightsabers. you can get custom bases and labels like this, plaques like this made up. 16J provided me with these golden guns for my Deadpool 2 figure. One thing I have learned is sometimes less is more. Certainly with my display cases, I like 4 or 5 figures in each. And these are 110, so I just think a bit of space between your figures, for me anyway, works better for a display. So that would be one of my tips. Another tip for me, and this is just my way of doing it now, I've stopped doing pre-orders because, so you can pre-order these when they're released, ensures you get one, but sometimes the delay and the length of time you wait to receive a pre-order, by the time you get the figure, you don't want it anymore. I mean, it can be over a year and more. So just be careful, I would say, about how many pre-orders you do. It's easy to just pre-order figure after figure, and before you know it, you've got 10 figures on pre-order. And then the bill might all come at once and you might not want them. So then you're back to eBay. You can also buy figures on Facebook buy and sell groups. I'm on a couple of these. If you want to buy from you, I would suggest Lee at The Good, the Bad and the Robots. He's a UK based seller and he's as reliable as they come. There are others, but there's quite a lot of Hong Kong resellers. Some are good, some bad. But I know with Lee, I've always got the figure when I've wanted it and when he said it will be coming. Albeit it's really hard to predict sometimes when these figures will be released. So thanks for watching till the end. I really appreciate it. And I've learned a couple of things even just doing this video of mine. I've learned that I say too many times. I also need to get one of those kind of gimbals to hold my camera straight. And I also forgot one of the best things about Hot Toys is the fact that they have dozens of points of articulation. So some of them have moving eyes, so you've got like access to the back of their heads and you can move the eyes. You can pose them however you like. They have stands so that some have flight poles so that you can get them off the ground. So what I'll probably do is cover what an actual Hot Toy is in my next video. But thanks again very much. I hope this was a little bit useful for you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.